fellow sojourners. My name is Tanja De Meillon, and I really am looking forward to enjoying a few sessions with you as we go through the journey of life. Good day, viewers. Thank you for coming back on the third episode of the series called Let's Take a Look at Life. Well, we are going to do just that as we take some reflections from the book I've written on chapters of my life and things that I have gone through and ways that I would love to just be there to help others that might be going through the similar types of things. Have you ever been told or experienced that life is not fair? Well, I definitely have a few chapters on those that could very well confirm that, but I have come to a place where I've realized that that sentence needs to be tweaked, and we need to be saying life seems unfair. Because what seems unfair to us in the moment of circumstances happening and coming our way, at the end of the day, it's amazing when you look back in hindsight and see what has transpired and that everything really did work out for the best. And that makes me think of Romans chapter 8, verse 28, where God says, all things work out for the good, for those who love me and work according to the purposes given to us. And that to me is the bottom line. We often have experiences. I deal with my own children going through life and going through the certain unfair experiences, and I always say to them, there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger plan, and allow the moment to express yourself and feel the feelings and admit, and no denial. But life happens, but it happens with a purpose when you are in the plan of God's Word. I can really think of past chapters within my book that speaks on my own teenage years. And I have referred to in our previous episode on the experience of being a rape victim. I most certainly had my arguments with God Himself, very much through the nights when I was really in tears and not understanding that moment in my life, not understanding what I had done wrong to deserve that moment in my life, and how I was going to apply damage control to a young life that had no idea what was really happening to her. And I understand the feelings of the many question marks that come. And you know what? God is not offended when we ask Him, when we run to Him with a pain. It becomes a problem when we run away from Him with a pain and we try and find other solutions to numb or that we can just ignore or try and just experience it in a different way. And then we use substitution, and it is going to touch us in some other way. And it's best to understand that when you are going through the deep, dark, intense times of these processes, it's the best thing to go back to the manual, which is the scriptures, and really to understand. Yes, God is sovereign. Yes, He has full control. Yes, He will, at the end of the day, that's why the scriptures can promise us that He will turn it all for good, all of it. And I mentioned about the puzzle pieces at one stage as well, where I had a piece of puzzle in my hand, building something with my daughter, and I just couldn't understand that piece, didn't make sense. At the end of the day, God just whispered in my heart and said, if that piece is not part of the puzzle, the picture wouldn't be complete. And we all know that is the end result, is His completed picture of our lives. And when we don't even understand it, He has the perfect picture on His side. And we just need to be patient and go through what we're going through and deal with it in the best of ways that we can. Yes, and confidence is something that is honestly, it's a super important aspect in a woman's life, in everyone's life for that matter. But on the one hand, if you're overly confident, it becomes, character-wise, it becomes a rather difficult person who feels they are entitled to everything and anything, and that just becomes a little bit of an imbalanced person, I believe. So I'm thankful for the hard times, for the times I didn't understand. But out of that, even I had to dig a little deeper, because when you haven't got your beauty to rely on, or at face value, which is what my book's name is, if you haven't got that at face value, that people just look at you and just love what they see, you have to dig a little deeper and find a depth of character that actually matters and that really means something. And it helped me to begin to see brokenness around me, others that were facing the world in a hard and harsh way, and actually be there for them, and those were the off wings and the ones around that other people don't always see and notice. And I would encourage them, and I would find ways to build them up and find the beauty or the good thing in the moment for them, and I really realized this is so much about perspective. As I've said in the beginning, your perspective can be life is unfair, which is a very harsh statement to just leave it there. And I really, really believe that life can seem unfair through different circumstances, but it isn't a permanent. It is a momentary movement, momentum that you're processing through life, growing towards the best you. And sometimes pain has an amazing way to train us up and to help us, as I say, dig deep into character and into the things that really, really matter. And at the end of the day, even though I was very much scarred after the skin trouble I had, and again, that felt so super unfair, because I wasn't asking for the skin problems. I don't think I was looking for it. I really, really was doing my best to stay away from fizzy drinks and chocolates and chips and all the things I was reading up on that is not so great for skin. And still, at the end of the day, I sat with scars in the end. But the irony is that because I had learned to dig deeper, when the opportunity came at college and I was asked to enter Miss Welcome College, at that moment, I felt like I was strong on the inside, strong enough on the inside to actually go and to project myself out there and stick my neck out for opinions, because that's what you will get when you put yourself on a platform like that. And ironically, in that process, I enjoyed every single minute of what was happening around me. People related, and I think that is a benefit for me. People relate to real people that are not, hiding behind some mask. And I could understand pain. And I think when you can understand pain, you become very relatable to many people around. And you might be right now in something very deep and dark. And what I want to just do is give you a little bit of light in the tunnel, bring a little bit of perspective to the moment, and lift you for a moment above the situation, and look at the bigger picture. There's a beautiful picture being cast, being created, being made on your life story. And what I've realized is there's beautiful sayings that say, when your mess becomes your message, or your test becomes your testimony. I can vouch for that. And while you're going through the lesson or through the trauma, or it might be something you're completely never brought upon yourself. It might be consequences of something that could be in your life at the moment, but it's not the be all and end all of your life. It's a portion of it, a chapter. And at the end of the day, you will look back and you will understand that that was a very necessary part of your life to help you become the person you need to be in the future, one. Or another reason could be to be the relatable person when someone else is going through something very similar. So as we go through the chapters of my life, and we really do take a good look at life, we will definitely be delving into the various aspects of questions, of experiences, of pain for sure, that we won't always understand inside the moment. But I just want to bring some hope to you today that you are going to be okay. You will see in the end of the day, beyond all of that, it is something that builds up to a beautiful ending. And in the end of the day, I took part in, as I said, Miss Welcome College. I was crowned, I think that year I was crowned my very first time as second princess or second runner-up. And I learned so much. But the thing was that if I had built my whole life upon what I look like, the experience after a pageant that I've noticed is while the pageant is on, you're kind of on a high drive, and there's a lot of people, giving opinions, and some of them positive, most of them positive maybe, and it really takes you up and it really elevates you and you're feeling really great. But when it all comes to an end, it's like the seesaw just goes right back down to where you've been and where you find yourself to truly be. And so you cannot forever, fly on other people's opinions of you or on situations that are uplifting you in the moment. At the end of the day, you get back to you, and you get back to the core of who you truly are. And going through that pageant really taught me that, great, that was an experience, but that is not necessarily the person that I want to project, the person that I want to have other people see me as this high-flying beauty queen that really doesn't mean anything. And it really brought me back down to earth, and realizing that I can encourage others to do and go beyond what they thought they could, because most certainly I did not find myself qualified to enter such a pageant whatsoever. I had amazing girls in my class at Tech that were encouraging me, and I couldn't understand what they were seeing. I could not understand what they were seeing, that they thought I would be able to do something like that. And what I love about the character side of what I learned to develop was to have courage, because courage is something that really needs to be developed in one. It's not just automatically always there. And for me, this pageant, coming from where I had been as a teenager, completely a recluse, someone who was very, very timid, completely with no confidence, and at the end of the day, I had this incredible time with meeting new amazing girls, and also learning to have confidence in front of when someone hands you a mic and asks you a question, you have no idea what that's going to be, and just growing into that. And to me, that was something that I had to really stick my neck out, but I had the courage to do it because I had developed my character. So may you also get to the place where you dig a little deeper and find the best you in the mess. Having been on all sides of pageantry, I can truly say that I've experienced and seen amazing accelerated growth in the participants, and it is something I honestly would recommend if it is something that
you feel ready for?
Well, I want to just say thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Take a Look at Life. To see a bigger picture of what this is all about, you can refer to the previous episodes that already have taken place, and remember there will be more coming up. So stay tuned and watch, and I look forward to sharing the rest of my chapters with you. So my name is Tanja De Meillon. We are doing a couple of reflections on my book called Face Value on the series called Let's Take a Look at Life. Hello my fellow sojourners, my name is Tanja De Meillon, and I really am looking forward to enjoying a few sessions with you as we go through the journey of life.